हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू एजुकेथन। मैं देवाश्रिता और आज हम हमारा सेकंड इंग्लिश क्लास है, सेकंड नाउन क्लास। तो फर्स्ट क्लास नाउन का था, आज सेकंड है। तो आज हम पढ़ेंगे अबाउट द जेंडर। ओके, जेंडर, अबाउट जेंडर इन नाउन, मतलब नाउन को यूज़ करके हम जेंडर डिफरेंशिएशन कैसे करते हैं। मतलब ओके, सो टू बिगिन विथ वी हैव नाउन। we'll study about noun in the gender form. Okay, so as we know that living beings are either divided into male or female sex. Okay, so let's consider these examples where boy, lion, hero, cock sparrow, and here we have girl, lioness, heroine, and hen sparrow. So if we compare these two examples, what do we notice here? That this first word of each pair, this first word is referred to here as a male animal, and this second word of each of this pair, this second word is referred to as a female animal. Okay, this for hero refers to a male person, heroine is a female, cock sparrow is a male animal, and hen sparrow is a female. So similarly, a boy is a male and girl is a female. So from these examples we got to know what is the difference between a male and a female. Okay, noun that denotes a male animal is said to be of the masculine gender. Male animal or any male person. A noun that denotes a male animal or a male person is said to be of the masculine gender. Okay, noun that denotes a female animal or a female person is said to be of the feminine gender. Okay, so this here masculine gender, as we can see, refers to the male and feminine gender refers to female. So what exactly is gender? Gender comes from a Latin word which means a genus, a kind or sort, any type of, if we are saying on the basis of gender, so which type of gender it is, in which kind of, either a male or a female. So this is what gender means. Okay, but when we are referring to somebody which is not on the basis of any gender, like that can also happen, like the noun that denotes either a male or a female is said to be of the common gender. Means if we are saying she is a girl, means that is a female, that denotes that she is a female. Okay, so that will come under feminine gender. If we are saying he is a boy or he is a hero, so that comes under male, which will be called as a masculine gender. But if we are saying, referring to somebody, he is one of the parent, okay, or that child or friend or a servant or a thief or cousin, person, neighbor or baby or student, etc. All these things are not based on any gender. Means they can be a male, they can also be a female. In that kind, what do we call it? We call it a common gender. That means that parent can either be a girl, either be a female or a male. Similarly, the child can be a girl or a boy. Friend can be a male or a female. Similarly, all these kinds of the servant, thief, cousin, person, all these can either be a male or female. So that comes under the common gender. So from these things we got to know that the person which is a male is called as a masculine gender, The female one is referred to as the feminine gender, and those noun which comes under both, that means it can either be a male or a female, they are referred to, they come under this common gender. Okay. So we read about what is masculine gender, what is feminine gender, and a common gender. This is the fourth type, where a noun that denotes a thing that is neither male nor female, that is thing without life, means that thing, that type of noun which we are considering here is neither male nor female. Okay, so that is basically a thing which is not having any life. Okay, and is said to be the neuter gender. Okay, so the examples are a book, a pen, room, tree, etc. So these come under those type of nouns which are not having any life, so they are neither male or nor female. Okay, so here neuter means neither that is male or nor female. Okay, but there can be exceptions also. What kind of exceptions? Now, objects without life are often personified. That means there are certain objects which is spoken of as if they are living beings. Okay, in certain cases, in some cases where that object or that thing is related to that person since ages, means since many years that thing is related to that person, or it is with that person, and a type of emotion is attached to that object. So in certain cases like these, so these objects are also personified. That means they are also considered as a living being. So these kind of cases are that where we regard them as males or females. Okay, so this is an exception. So we read about this gender, where we came across 4 types of gender. First is masculine gender, then feminine gender, then common gender, and this is the 4th one, which is neuter gender. Okay. So as we read about those objects which are often personified as living beings, so when they are thought of as living beings, means that object can either be male or female. So with respect to that, here we have the masculine gender, when that object is often applied to, when this masculine gender is often applied to objects remarkable for strength and violence. The masculine gender, as we know, refers to the male. Okay, so when this is applied to any object that is remarkable, that object is either remarkable for its strength or violence, means that object is very powerful and strong. Okay, for example, the sun, summer, winter, time, death, etc. For example, we can say the sun sheds his beams on rich and poor alike. Okay, so this is one example of this object, sun, being a masculine gender. Okay, similarly, for the feminine gender, sometimes when it is applied to objects which is remarkable for beauty, gentleness and gracefulness. Okay, so for example, let's see what comes under the feminine gender. So that has the moon, earth, spring, autumn and nature, etc. And liberty, justice, peace, hope, all these comes under the feminine gender group. Okay, so for example, let's see the moon. Okay, so the moon has hidden her face behind a cloud. So here moon is that object which is referred to as a feminine gender because of the beauty, the gentleness and the gracefulness. So all these shows that there are certain objects which are either referred to as the masculine gender, or they are referred to as feminine gender. Okay. So now we'll read about ways of forming the feminine of nouns. Okay. So there are 3 ways by which we can form this feminine of nouns. So the first one is by using entirely different word. Second one is by adding a syllable. Third one is by placing a word before or after. So let's consider the first one, by using entirely different word. So how can we say that this word is feminine? Okay, so let's go for an example. So the first one is entirely different word. So for example, let's say the masculine is a boy. So for that, the feminine will be a girl. Okay, so here it is an entirely different word. The feminine of this boy, this girl, which is the feminine of the noun, it is a completely different word than that of boy. Okay, so and by adding a syllable, that means if we consider an actor, so here it will be an actress. We added this ess as an extra syllable, as a suffix, okay, to this actor, and it became actress. So this is feminine of this noun. Then by placing a word before or after, so we'll consider grandfather. Okay, so the feminine of noun for grandfather will be grandmother. So here we have added a word after this. So these are the 3 ways by which we can form the feminine of noun. So let's go for some different examples of all these 3 types. Okay. So this is the first type where we will be forming feminine of the nouns. The first way is by adding an entirely different word. Okay, so here is the masculine which is given, and let's find out what will be the feminine of the noun for all these masculine nouns. Okay, so for boy it will be girl, for brother it will be sister, bull or ox it will be cow, for dog it is bitch, for father it is mother, for nephew it is niece, and for sir it is madam. So from all these examples we can clearly see that an entirely different word is added for the feminine of noun for all these masculine nouns. Okay, so these are the examples for the first way. Okay, so this is the second way by which we will be forming the feminine of the nouns. Okay, so by adding a syllable, that syllable may be ess or ine or trix, etc. There can be many others also. So the masculine nouns are given. Let's find out the feminine noun for these. For author it will be authoress, for host it will be hostess, for lion it will be lioness, actor it will be actress, for tiger it will be tigress, for hero it will be heroine, fox vixen, and for testator it will be testatrix. So what is this testator? It is a person who has made a will or who has a legacy. Okay, and similarly testatrix refers to the female person who has made a will or who has a legacy. Okay, so these are the examples of all these are the examples of the second kind of this second way by which we are adding a syllable and forming the feminine form of nouns. Okay, this is the last way. It is by placing a word before or after. Okay, the masculine nouns are being given. We have to find out the feminine nouns of grandfather, great uncle, landlord, peacock, and washerman. So for grandfather, it will be grandmother. So here we are adding a word after the words. Okay, here we are adding a word after and making it a feminine word, feminine noun. For great uncle, it will be great aunt, landlord, landlady. For peacock, it will be peahen, and for washerman, it will be washer women. Okay, so these are the examples of the third way for forming a feminine of noun. So this was all about the gender noun which deals with gender. Okay, so how we will find out whether that person, that object, or that man is a male or female. Okay, so on these grounds we will identify. So this was all about this gender class for noun today, and next class we'll read about noun for numbers. Okay, so thank you, and if you like this class, then please kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.